Awesome. So I'm super pumped you guys are here. I'm Allison, and this is a 9 a.m. power flow this morning. And before I start, a bunch of you have just so graciously asked how you could support iShine during these next few months. And there is a link on our Instagram account that you can click on and Venmo whatever you feel you'd want to contribute. And we are planning classes until the end of May that will be online. So more info to come on that, and just keep our yoga community going strong, because I know it's been really nice for me to have these classes and see the faces that I love. So I'm glad you guys are all here today. This is a power class. I want you to do whatever you can today and what you feel like doing. Listen to your body, and I'll remind you of that the whole time. All right? Everybody good? Awesome. All right, let's start in a comfortable seated position. And go ahead and whatever that looks like for you. If it's legs out straight in front of you or legs crossed, go ahead and close your eyes.
Don't they need to see your body?
Good, you guys. Now take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Do that a couple more times. Breathe in through the nose. Open the mouth and breathe out. Good. Breathe in through the nose. Open the mouth, breathe out. Do that a few more times, just following the rhythm of your own breath. Just starting to calm the nervous system, start to get in touch with your physical body. Maybe start to come into what we call ujjayi breath. So you'll breathe in and out through the nose now. There's a slight constriction of the throat as you breathe out. So the word I've been really thinking of a lot this week, or the last 2 weeks really, has been surrender. And so I'll bring that word up throughout this hour of practice. But there's so many unknowns, so many questions that all of us have in our personal lives, in our businesses, with our families. So just being able to kind of surrender to that. Working hard always and giving, but being able to step back and know that there's so much out of our control. And breathing through that. Let's take one more big breath in. Open the mouth, let it go. You can start to flutter the eyes open and come into a child's pose. So you can let your big toes touch and your knees come at least as wide as your mat, pressing your hips back and then reaching your fingertips forward to the top of the mat. And continue with your ujjayi breath. Continue feeling breath come into your body. And every exhale, just letting you sink a little bit more into the mat, feeling the support of the earth beneath you. Then walk your hands over to the right side of the room, far off your mat. Maybe left palm on top of the right. And come back to center over to the other side. Good, hands over to the left, beautiful. If you're like me, you've kind of been sitting a little bit more than usual, so I feel that a little more in my body today. Walk the hands back to center. And then come up to all fours, so you're in a tabletop position. My tech expert just helped me with the lighting, so I think you guys can see me now. Good, so bring your hands right underneath your shoulders. Spread your fingers apart, finding a few rounds of cat and cow. You can keep your eyes closed. Just moving however your body needs to move this morning. Maybe it's pressing your hips back to your heels. Maybe it's making big hip circles. Maybe swaying the hips side to side. Nice, you guys. Take a few more rounds, even out. If you've done something on one side, you can do it on the other. And then make your way to your first downward facing dog. So you're lifting your hips up towards the ceiling. You keep your hands grounded down, rooted down into the earth. Spread the fingers apart, press into that area in between the pointer finger and thumb. Really press down into that. And maybe find some movement. Maybe bend the knees. Maybe pedal the feet. Yeah, shake the head out. Move the jaw around. See where you can release. See where can you surrender some of that tension. Yeah, now look up between the hands and tiptoe your feet up to the top of your mat. So you're in your first forward fold. Yeah, and then just let this one be really easy. Bend the knees a lot here. Let your arms just hang, dangle down towards the floor. Continue to see where you can release. Shake the head yes, shake the head no. Good. Now inhale, lift halfway. Bring the hands anywhere on the legs. Shins, thighs. Look up. And then fold back down. Release the head, release the neck. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Again, inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Now ground down through the feet. Lift all the way up to standing. Look up to the fingertips. Palms touch lower, hands together, heart center. Close the eyes for a moment and maybe set an intention that is more personal to you. I shared, mine has been around surrender this week. So breathing that in. And we'll get movement through some of our sun A's. So inhale, reach the arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palm the mat, step back to your plank pose. First plank pose here of your day. So pressing your heels to the back. Maybe knees come down. Good. Now inhale, find a little more length in the spine. Exhale, lower all the way down. Hug your elbows into the sides of the body as you come down. Untuck the toes. You're heavy through the feet, heavy through the legs. Lift, cobra. Shoulders gliding back. Lower the chest back down. Press back, downward facing dog. Bend the knees. Look up between the hands. See where you want to go and walk or float top of the mat. Press down through the feet. Lift all the way up to standing. Inhale. Lower the hands down, center of the chest. Good. So we'll keep moving through that, through sun A's. So quick little note, especially if you haven't done a power class. We do a lot of these, what we call vinyasas, where we're in a plank pose, and we lower either all the way down to the floor, finding cobra, or we hover to up dog. And you can skip those, you can add those however you want. So make this practice your own and make it work for you. All right, so inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, palm the mat, step or jump back, plank, and find your flow. Downward facing dog. Bend the knees, look up towards the top of the mat, walk or hop top of the mat. Ground it down, reach up to standing. Lower the hands down, heart center. Surrender here, just feel your feet pressing down into your mat. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Palm your mat, find your flow. So remember, sometimes that can be holding in plank. Maybe it's knees down. Nice, you guys. Back to downward dog. Look up between the hands again. Bend the knees as much as you can and jump to the top of the mat. Ground down through the feet. Lift up to standing. Hands to center of the chest. Pausing here before we do that one more time. Last sun salutation A. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, fold. Pulling belly to the spine. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, find your flow. Good. Downward facing dog. Look up between the hands, bend the knees, walk or jump, top of the mat. Now this time, wiggle your big toes to touch, heels just slightly apart. Now sink the hips down for chair pose. So first chair pose, say hi to your thighs this morning. Now feel your shoulders ground down onto your back, away from the ears. That's that surrender piece. Breathe in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Palm the mat and find your flow. You guys look awesome from what I can see from your little screens. Right leg steps forward in between the hands. Warrior one. So back foot at 45 degrees. Inhale, our arms to the sky. Hip points facing towards the front of the room. My people in here are doing awesome. Breathe in. Exhale, hands down. Now step back. Maybe you float your right foot up this time. Just an option as you lower down. Kind of fun to play with sometimes. Making your way back, down dog. Left foot steps up, warrior one. Inhale, arms to the sky, hip points forward, shoulders down. Lower the hands down. Find your flow, maybe left foot up. Beautiful, downward dog. Look up between the hands, walk or jump, top of the mat. Ground down through the feet, lift all the way up to standing. Lower hands to heart center. Pause here for a second. Just feel the feet grounding down, close the eyes, feel the palms pressing together, and take a deep breath in all together. Open the mouth, let it go. We're gonna move through one more sun, or three more sun salutation Bs, and this is the fastest we're gonna move throughout the class. Modify it, make it your own, make it feel good in your body, all right? So coming back to your chair, big toes touch, heels slightly apart, sink the hips down. Weight comes back into the heels. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, palm the mat and find your flow. Yes. Right foot steps up between the hands without lifting it. So you're really using your core there. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands down. Find your flow. Maybe right toes hover. Good. Nice, you guys. Left foot up between the hands. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, hands float down. And find your flow. Good. Kneading back, downward dog. Look up between the hands, bend the knees, walk or float top of the mat. Ground down, strong through the feet. Lift all the way up. Maybe add a little back bend as you look up to the ceiling. Lower hands to heart center. Take a second here to pause. So often we rush to the next thing, right? So just pause right here before we move on. Inhale, arms up, sink down, chair pose. So maybe challenge yourself here. Find your strength. Sink down just a little bit lower than you have been. But still feel that softness. See where you can soften at the back of the neck, in between the eyes. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Find your flow. Good. Right leg steps up, warrior one. Exhale, hands down. Flow. Good. Left leg steps up. Back foot spinning flat. Use that back leg to your advantage, right? You're pressing it down, strengthening through the back leg. Exhale, hands float. Flow it out. I can't really see you guys, but I hope you're listening to your body and doing what you need to do and not pushing yourself beyond what you're feeling like doing this morning. So we have one more sun B. I'm not going to cue anything. I want you to just get into your body. You can watch me or watch someone else on your camera or do something a little different. So bend your knees, look up between the top of the hands, press down, reach up, lower hands to heart center. Starting your version of sun B with chair pose. You guys take a deep breath in when you make it back to downward facing dog. Open the mouth and just let it all go. Good. Right leg lifts up to the ceiling, 3-point. Good. Step your foot through in between your hands. Crescent lunge. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. And then see where you can soften. Where can you surrender a little bit? Can you release the shoulders down? Revolve, side angle. Left hand comes down. Right arm reaches up towards the ceiling. Look up at your fingers. Feel that twist. Yes, now you can stay here or come into side plank. So my left hand staying right underneath my left shoulder. Right foot stacks over left. Maybe my left knee comes down. Maybe get a little playful. Maybe lift your right leg parallel to the top of the mat. Nice. Inhale, lift. Exhale, right hand comes down. Flow it out or come lift the hips straight up to downward dog. Good. Other side, left leg lifts up to the ceiling. Step it through, we're headed to crescent lunge. Good. So your back foot, I kind of ignore my back foot sometimes, to be honest. So I want you to think about the back foot. Heel over the ball of the foot. Your hip points are pointing to the top of the mat. Left hip back, right hip forward, reach up. And add your twist. Right hand comes down, left fingertips to the sky. Stay here or find your side plank. Right hand stays down, left foot steps on right. Lift the hips. Maybe float your left leg up. Left hand comes down. Find your flow. And be mindful, guys, I can't hear if you're breathing, so I kind of have to trust that you are. I want you to keep that Ujjayi breath going in and out through the nose. Inhale, right leg up to the ceiling. Now bend your knee, stack right hip over the left. So you're twisting here. Your right shoulder's gonna wanna lift up to your ear. Drop the right shoulder down. Step it through, crescent lunge. Inhale, arms to the ceiling. Mindful of your back foot. Right hip back, left hip forward. Add your twist. Left hand in front, right hand in back. Yeah, so you can stay here, or you can take your right hand to the back of the leg and reach your left fingertips back. I had some reactions to my people here. Breathe in. Open out, warrior two. And then steady right here. So this is a hard pose, right? You're using a lot. Now see where you can surrender. Where can you soften a little bit? Reach back for peaceful. You can always straighten the front leg. Give yourself a little relief. Relax the right shoulder. Extended side angle. So right forearm comes to the thigh. We reach the left arm up and over towards the top of your space. Ground down through the back foot. Don't ignore that back foot. Press down into that back edge. Breathe in. Exhale, find your flow. Nice, you guys. From down dog, your left leg lifts high to the ceiling. Bend your knees, stack left hip over right. Again, keeping your shoulders as square as you can, and see how that kind of shifts how you're feeling the stretch there. Good. Step forward, crescent lunge. Yeah. Find some gratitude for the strength of your body, right? We're pretty lucky that we could do all these crazy poses. Right hand in front, left hand in back. Left hand comes back lightly on the right leg. Reach the right fingertips back. And open out strong. Warrior two. Good. If you've taken my class before, you know I love alignment, right? So I love this trick of looking down and seeing, making sure you can see your big toe. Because if your knee's covering your big toe, it usually means your knee's kind of caving in. Take it back, peaceful. Bent leg or straight, feel what feels good in your body. Extended side angle, left forearm to thigh, reach the right arm up and over. Get as much space as you can here. Breathe in, breathe out, in case you've forgotten. And then find your flow. Beautiful, guys. Look up between the hands. Walk or jump to the top of the mat. Yes, now forward fold here. Option to take your peace fingers and grab hold of your big toes. So bend the knees as much as you want to here to feel comfortable. Bend the elbows and use your bicep strength to pull you in a little bit closer towards the legs. And then ask yourself where you can soften. Like where are you holding on that's not really benefiting you in any way? For me, it's usually my neck or jaw. One more breath in. Exhale, release the grip on the toes. We're headed into chair pose. So again, big toes touch, heels slightly separated. Hands together at center of the chest. Slight tuck of the tailbone, low ribs tuck in. Now left elbow to right thigh. So we're twisting here. Again, I feel this a little differently because I think I've been sitting a little bit more than Breath in. Breath out. One more breath in. Good breath, everybody in this room. Exhale, forward fold back over the legs. Separate the feet out, Padangusthasana. So you're gonna flip the palms to go underneath your feet. Your toes come to the creases of your wrists. You can give your toes a little wiggle. And then play with your edge. Maybe you start to shift weight more forward into the toes. Play with a little bit of balance. And just like we did in that very first forward fold, just feel that release in the upper body. Nice release. Come back into your chair. Big toes touch, heels separated, hands together at center of the chest. Twist to the other side. Elbow comes to the outside of the left thigh. And I like to think about using my top hand to really guide my chest open. See if you can smile while you're doing this. Exhale, forward fold. Good. A couple options here. I'm going to invite you to play with crow. If you would like to play with crow, I'll walk you through that. Other really good options are malasana, especially if you've been sitting more. I find this really helps my low back. So you can be here. If you want to play with a crow pose, if you have pillows around, it can be really nice when you're first starting to learn, because if you fall on your head, you've got pillows. Right? So you can bring your hands down. I'm spreading my hands apart. I'm high on the balls of my feet. Nice. And I'm starting to lift maybe one set of toes up off the floor, maybe both, but my knees are really high up on my triceps. I'm using my core a lot. Yeah, everybody, nice job. Good, if you're in crow and you want to play with a jump back, you can start to play with sending your feet back to the back of your mat if you want to play with that. But we're all going to meet back in downward facing dog. From down dog, breathe in. Open the mouth, breathe out. Do that one more time, breathe in. Breathe out. We're headed into our balance section. This is one of my favorite sections right now, as I've been feeling a little scattered, as I'm sure you have. So right leg reaches up. Bend your knee and stack hip over hip. Stay here or flip your dog. Right foot gets heavy, comes down next to the left. We ground down to lift the hips up. Wave to the camera if you're facing the camera. Look up, come back, 3-point. Step the foot forward, crescent lunge. Inhale, arms to the sky. Last crescent lunge of our practice, so make it strong. Right arm comes underneath left, eagle arms. Use your core, so you're zipping up your low ribs, you're lifting the elbows up. Keep your arms right here. We're headed into stork with the lower body, so left knee comes up to the chest. If you fall, you fall. Just get back in. Left leg wraps over right. We're in eagle. Okay, so toes can stay out to the side of the shin, or maybe they wrap around the shin if that feels comfortable to you. Breath is steady. Stork pose, release the arms, fingertips to the sky. Warrior 3, keeping your arms where they are. That's going to add more core stability there. Reach arms forward, reach the leg back, hip points face down to the floor. Not easy. Keep breathing. Right hand comes down, half moon. The left hip stacks over the right. Reach the left fingertips to the sky. Again, don't forget your back foot. Keep pressing your back foot. Spread through the toes. Grounded, warrior 3. Left hand down, hip points to the floor. Optional flow, left foot lunging back, or meet directly back, downward dog. Lovely, guys. Left leg reaches up to the ceiling. Bend your knees, stack hip over hip, stay there, or flip your dog. Good. Flip dogs, come back, 3 points. Crescent lunge, left foot in between the hands. Inhale, arms to the sky. Is anyone else really sweating? I am. Left arm comes underneath the right. My people here said they were, so that makes me feel good. One more breath in. Exhale, stork pose. Keep your hands where they are. Right knee comes into the chest. Eagle. Right leg over left. Maybe your toes wrap around your shin. Maybe they stay out to the side. Maybe you're here today. You can be so many different things. That's the beauty of yoga to me. Stork pose, release the arms, knee in. Good. Warrior 3 with the arms out in front of you. So it's like your favorite superhero. Channel that. Reach your arms forward. Reach your leg back. Keep the breath steady, even when things get challenging. That's when it really matters. Left hand comes down. Right hip stacks over left. Good. Right hand comes down. Grounded warrior 3. Right foot lunges back. Everyone step directly back, plank pose. Good. Now lower onto the forearms. Close the eyes here, you guys, and breathe. Option to let your right toes hover a couple inches above the floor. If you're shaking, that's good. You're getting strength. If you lifted the right leg, lift the left. Good. Lower the hips down. Find your way into Sphinx pose. Getting heavy in your lower body. Guide the shoulders back. And just tilt your right ear for a second over to the right shoulder. Stretch out the left side of the neck. Good. Left ear over to the left shoulder. Lower your chest back down. And let your right ear just come down to the floor for a second. Arms down by your sides. Locust pose. So you'll turn your palms down to the mat. Keep your low body grounded down. And just start to squeeze the shoulders together as you lift your chest. Hands stay down for right now. Gaze slightly forward of the mat. And then maybe start to lift your arms, lift your legs. Really squeeze the shoulders together. And then let it go. Left ear down onto the floor. Beautiful job, you guys. This time, interlace the hands behind the back. So you'll feel this even more in the shoulders. Ground down through the low body. Press down through the feet. And just start to squeeze shoulders together. Maybe lift the fist towards the, what's that word? Ankles, heels. Maybe lift the lower body. Good. I'm trusting that you're breathing still. Lower back down, right ear to the floor. Shake the hips out. Good. Now bend the elbows, bring the hands to frame the chest. Zip up your low abdominal, so pull your belly button towards the spine. Press down through the low body. Press down into the palms, and we're heading into up dog. Okay, so we're pressing down, we're lifting the belly now. I'm squeezing the shoulders together. Maybe I'm starting to look up gently towards the ceiling. Good. Come down onto the knees and find your way back into your downward dog. Walk your hands to the back of the mat. So to your toes, so you're in a forward fold at the back of your mat. Bend the knees, tuck the chin into the chest, and roll it up. One vertebrae at a time. Head's the last thing to come up. Good. Bring the hands to center of the chest. Come back to your intention. Close the eyes. Connect with your breath. Now, right arm reaches up to the ceiling. Relax your shoulder down. Bend your left knee and grab the inside of your foot. Zip up your low abdominals, tuck the low ribs in. From here, dancer pose. So you're kicking your foot into your hand and you're keeping your chest nice and lifted towards the ceiling. If you fall, you fall. It's just yoga. You can come back into it. Now directly to the other side, step your left foot forward, and we're moving directly into dancer on the left. The left arm reaches, bend the right knee, kick your foot into your hand. Yeah, feel all four corners of your left foot press down into your mat. Nice. Step your right foot forward. Tree pose. Your left foot comes up, maybe right above your ankle, maybe to the inner thigh, maybe half lotus with your foot into the hip crease. And then arms, whatever you want to do, right? If you want to have hands here, if you want to do a little bind with a back bend. My time. I'm used to hour 15. Yes, you guys look beautiful. Awesome job. Without any rush. When you're ready, switch sides. Connect with your standing foot. All four corners of each foot press down. Back down, back into your mountain pose. Shine the palms forward, feel the shoulders on your back, and just check in with your body if it feels different. Good? You guys good? All right. Inhale, arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Find your way back to downward dog through a vinyasa or not. Beautiful. Right leg lifts to the ceiling. This is our last little standing flow here. So right knee to right tricep, mountain climber. Inhale, 3-point. Twisted cheetah, right knee, left tricep, twist it. Yeah. Inhale, back, 3-point. Step it through, crescent lunge. Inhale, arms up. Open out for warrior 2. Now in your warrior 2, this time I want you to take yourself to your edge. So you're going to bend your knee, still see that you can see your big toe, and then flip your palms up to the ceiling. Reach back, keep the leg right where it is for peaceful. Maybe your left hand comes around to your right hip crease. Side angles. We've been here once before. If you want to take it a little further, maybe you want to play with a half bind, keeping your hand here. Maybe a full bind. Maybe you want to play with bird of paradise, walking your left foot up, grounding the left foot down and lifting. So many places you can take it. Breath in, breath out. One more breath in, breath out. Straighten your front leg. It's triangle pose next. So I've been telling my classes lately, your hand does not need to be on the floor. In fact, sometimes that kind of makes me lean forward. Think about bringing your hand up to your shin, or maybe you don't even use a hand. You're really just using your core to keep yourself in alignment, shoulder over shoulder. Good. It's a little harder that way. Breath in. Exhale, wide leg forward fold. All 10 toes are facing to the left of your mat. Okay, you're grounding down through the feet. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. So option one, maybe you reach your arms forward just like you would in down dog. I like to come onto my fingertips. If you want to go upside down here, you're welcome to find that. If it's a headstand, coming into it from this area here. Maybe it's another crow pose if you're working on that. Let's see what everybody's doing. Not to be creepy. Good, you guys. Come back down if you were lifted, grounding your feet. From here, hands come to the hips and start to lift yourself all the way up, using your core to help you lift. Strong legs. Yes, now all 10 toes face to the top of the mat. And I like to separate my feet a little bit so I'm more on towards the edges of the mat. Now hands either come, I'll show you from here. You're either going to grab onto either elbow or maybe you find reverse prayer, so kind of see what feels good. Inhale, find a little lift in the chest. Exhale, fold over the leg. And I promise you, if you keep thinking about bringing your left hip forward, right hip back, you're going to feel this intensify. Do you feel it intensify? Breath in. Breath out. One more breath in. Breath out. Revolve triangle. Left hand comes down either on the inside of your front foot or the outside of your front foot. So the outside of your front foot gives you a little bit more twist. Bring your right hand to your low back. And you'll start to lift your chest towards the right side of the room. Hello. I feel that a lot. Stay here, or you can reach your right fingertips up to the ceiling. Look up. Maybe bring pointer and thumb finger together. Find that point of focus. Breath in. Exhale, hand comes down. And find your flow or find your way directly back to downward dog. Nice, you guys look great. Other side, even it out. Left leg lifts high to the ceiling. Mountain climber, prep, left knee to left tricep really high. This is great for your core. Lift the belly high. Inhale, back 3-point. Twist your cheetah, left knee, right tricep. Inhale, 3-point. Exhale, step it through. It's our last crescent lunge here. I think I've said that before, I'm sorry. Reach your arms up. Relax your shoulders down. Open out, warrior 2. Flip your palms to the ceiling. Reach back, peaceful. Maybe right hand around to the left hip. Yeah, and find some gratitude. It's kind of crazy that our bodies can do all these crazy things. A lot of people aren't this lucky, right? So just breathing into that, the strength of your body. Good. Extended side angle. Play with whatever you wanted to play with that you did maybe on the other side. If you're finding a bind, full bind, bird of paradise, you'll walk your right foot forward and start to lift the left. Nice. Nice, Dr. Flood, I see you. And then coming back down, if you took any of those variations, triangle poses next, straighten your left leg, reach the right arm up. Again, keeping your hand really light. Use your core. You have that strength. Right? Reach the fingertips to the ceiling. Wide leg forward fold, all 10 toes face to the right. Interlace the hands behind the back, another great shoulder opener for you guys. A little micro bend in the elbows, and just bring the fist up and over. Where can you surrender? Where can you effort a little bit less? Shake the head out, move the jaw around. Release the hands down. Now reach your arms out in front of you. I want you to use your core and your legs to lift you up. So you're really pressing down through the feet. Reach the fingertips. And turn all 10 toes to face the top of the space. Again, find your variation of arms. Grab elbows, reverse prayer. Zip up your core. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Good. Left hip back, right hip forward. Good. Revolve, triangle, right hand comes to the inside or outside of your foot. I like to bring my left hand to my low back. And just feel the evenness of my back here, and then start to lift the chest to the left. Maybe left fingertips to the sky. Maybe giant mudra, bringing your thumb and forefinger together. Look up at that point of focus. Left hand closes down. Good. Lunge the right toes to the back of the mat. Left foot steps back to meet the right. We're going to lower down on the count of 8. Okay, so it's up to you how fast your 8 wants to be. So you can lower it down. Hug your elbows into the sides of the body. Knees can come down. And once you make it there, just rest your right ear to the floor. Rest your arms down by your sides. Surrender. I'm not going to sleep yet, but from here, I'll talk you through bow pose. If there's another back bend you'd rather do, you can do that too. So we'll start with active bow. So we're not going to reach to the feet yet. I just want you to reach your arms back. I want you to really flex through your feet. Don't forget about your feet. Lift the thighs up off the floor and lift the shoulders, lift the chest. And every inhale lifts you up. You'll naturally come a little bit further down with your exhale. Come all the way back down, left ear down to the mat. Surrender here. Full bow pose. If you'd like to find that contact with your feet, play with that. If you love that active bow variation, I always think that one's a little more challenging for me. But whichever one you want to play with. If you have your feet, or your pant leg works, kick your feet into your hand and start to lift up. And even though you can't hear everyone else here breathing, you can picture it, right? So you can feel that collective breathing in, out. We're all in this together. And then let it go. Oh, press it back into a rounded child's pose. It should feel really nice. So your knees come together. Your arms draped down by your sides. Your forehead is on your mat. Maybe you kind of move your forehead side to side. And come back to your intention if you set one for yourself at the beginning of class. One more breath in. One more breath out. Good. And then We'll come to a seated position. So you're sitting all the way back. And I'll show you from the side. You're going to move into boat pose. Okay, so I want you to bring your hands back behind you and just think about lifting your chest. So many times, like, we sit like this. I've been making my class do this, right? Especially lately with more sitting. So we're lifting your legs up. Keep the chest here. If lifting your arms makes you round forward, you don't have to do that. Stay where you stay lifted. You can straighten your legs if, again, that doesn't compromise. Find some stillness here. Shaking is growth. Breathe in. Breathe out. Lower your feet down. Lower your hands if they were lifted. Now press down through the feet and the hands for reverse.